Value is weird. It's a noun and a verb. I think about it in terms of a number or a conviction, but I don't really know what it is. The more I think about the concept of value, the less real it seems. And just when I feel as though that nothing has value at all, I stop. And I think to myself, in this moment, why don't I destroy this suit that I'm wearing? And for all the immaterial, undefinable nothingness of value, there's something that stops me. I value this suit. Economically, yeah, practically, and sentimentally. It was appraised at a price that I was willing to pay. It has practical uses, like dumb photos in this video, and it elicits positive emotions, like familiarity and love. For all the vagueness of value, I know that I value this suit. And I know why. So how the hell do I value myself? I don't like myself. I won't get into the messy bits, but it's a weird feeling when I stop to think about it. Esteem is respect. It's value, but applied to another person. To be clear, what self-esteem isn't is self-efficacy, though they can be mixed up. Though self-esteem and self-efficacy are often tied together, the difference is having self-efficacy means that I know that I can cook up a killer pasta al limon, shout out to Babish. Having self-efficacy without self-esteem means that I know that I can cook up a killer pasta al limon, but I also know that that won't save me from being a worthless person, based on whatever arbitrary criteria that I set for myself. Like recreating binging with Babish dishes. That makes sense, but it also doesn't. What is value to myself? It doesn't matter. I may have judgments about my own self-efficacy, but judging my own worth just seems silly. But it's not my eyes through which I judge my own value. I'm looking at myself through what others think of me, or at least what I think that they think of me. If you were the last person alive, would you have self-esteem? It wouldn't matter. There's no one left to whom your value matters. There's no one left to appraise you. And appraising yourself is pointless. I mean, you're stuck with yourself no matter what. So what's the point? Self-esteem only exists in relation to others. Our self-esteem isn't how we view ourselves, but how we view ourselves through the imagined and often bullshit perspectives of others. And this fiction is a big deal. Everyone has some relationship with the imagined perspective of others. Positive, negative, indifferent. And I hate to admit that I care about what others think of me. But I do. Deeply. I want control over what you see. I want that control. Hello, and welcome to Some Furry's Guide to Self-Esteem. With just 621 easy steps, you'll begin loving the you craft. Let's start with the basics. We all know what self-esteem is, kind of. But did you know that there are actually two kinds of self-esteem? Pretty cool, right? The first, contingent self-esteem, results from matching some standard of excellence or living up to some interpersonal or intrapsychic expectations. A man who feels like a good or worthy person only when he has accomplished a profitable business transaction has contingent self-esteem. This is the feeling of kicking someone's ass in Smash or getting your ass kicked. It's pride. It's humiliation. The second is true self-esteem. This is more stable, more securely based in a solid sense of self. A woman who is true to herself would have a high level of true self-esteem simply by being who she is. Her self-esteem would essentially be a given and would have developed as she acted autonomously within the context of authentic relationships. This could mean almost like a positive but indifferent relationship with oneself. It doesn't matter if they win or lose at Smash. They're just here to have fun. The difference here is whether you give a crap about what others think. If you have low self-esteem, the solution might seem simple. Raise it. Get high self-esteem. Impress people, win awards, accomplish things. Make yourself someone worth respecting. But that doesn't work. plenty of successful people are pretty insecure. Building a temple to one's ego only leaves something to knock down when those foundations are threatened. There is always going to be someone to outshine you. Contingent self-esteem is useless. True self-esteem is what we ought to strive for. That certainty that no matter our self-efficacy or our social standing, we as individuals have value. Each and every one of us is beautiful. And at the end of the day, really the only solution to self-esteem is to just be yourself. There's nothing more frustrating than knowing the answer and feeling helpless to apply it. I should value myself for who I am. And this video doesn't define my value, no matter how well it performs. But it kind of does. We talked about value earlier. A better video has more value. That makes its creator more valuable. Sure, contingent self-esteem, it's bullshit, okay, but God, why does it have to come so naturally? For a while, there was a chicken-egg type situation as to where low self-esteem kind of came from, you know? Does someone have low self-esteem because they're depressed, or is someone depressed because they have low self-esteem? Same with anxiety and social standing. Is someone a loner because they have low self-esteem, or the other way around? A lot of recent scholarship suggests that self-esteem is the catalyst. It isn't the only cause of things like anxiety and depression and what have you, but it's a pretty strong contributor. One study shows that the effect of low self-esteem on depression was far greater than vice versa. Another study, drawn over the course of 4 years, observed that low self-esteem can cause a decline in one's social life, like the quantity or quality of friendships. In other words, being depressed or losing friends doesn't mean that you're going to have a low self-esteem. But what it also means is that it doesn't matter if you aren't depressed or you don't have a bad social life, because low self-esteem is a threat to that, not a consequence. So where does low self-esteem come from? Maybe you don't feel as smart as your peers, or you're not as successful as your friends. Maybe you even acknowledge that, yeah, you feel as though that you have to prove your worth to others to feel as though that you have any worth to begin with. But none of those are answers. Research on the causes of low self-esteem are pretty slim. Answers to the big why question are just not available yet. I don't want to feel this way. And if you deal with low self-esteem, chances are you don't want to feel this way either. You don't want to be stuck inside your head, too busy staring at yourself in disgust, unable to see the genuine beauty in yourself, in others, in the world. And maybe it is because I was a loner in school and I felt I had to prove my worth to others just to be noticed. And maybe it was because it was too easy to compare myself to other kids. And maybe it's because the advent of social media made it so much more fucking easy to compare myself to the idealized version of other people's lives. What does that do for us now? We should see each other as beautiful individuals, deserving of our own respect and support. For me, I have a whole worldview to get rid of first. I know where I need to go, but I don't know how to get there. But one solution is to remember that becoming more self-efficacious or more popular, it won't work. When we have low self-esteem, we go to it for advice. And it tells us things like, oh, if you impress your friends or get this many Twitter followers, then you'll be happy. But low self-esteem isn't going to tell us how to fix it. It's going to lie. That higher follower count won't help. More attention won't help. I guess to tackle low self-esteem, you have to focus on low self-esteem itself. It isn't a sign that something is wrong. It is what is wrong. I don't know how to love myself quite yet. I don't know how to wean myself off the validation of others quite yet. I'm scared to. I can't conceive of getting my self-worth from anywhere else, but I have to. And if you feel the same way, then you have to. It's a journey that we all have to take. but we have to take it alone, where we don't need to appraise our own value. By virtue of being alone, it simply is. Maybe being comfortable with solitude is the answer. If you got this far in the video, I want to say thank you. This is my first time making a video essay in one of these, but I mean, I hope the video comes out well. Fingers crossed. If you like what you see, please drop me a like. Please subscribe. The algorithm loves it when you do that. And follow me on Twitch, on Twitter. I'm active on those places. You can catch a stream, catch a new video, and yeah. I just want to say thank you for watching. I deeply appreciate it, and big illy. See you in the next video.